Good evening, everyone. My name is Deontay Gibbs, and today I will be giving a chapter summary on health and responsiveness, part of the Communication Ethics Literacy text, Dialogue and Difference, written by Arnett, Fritz, and Bell. So, to begin with a background, Arnett, Fritz, and Bell properly note that healthcare communication ethics supplement an understanding of the notion behind health as it goes beyond obvious optimism to an active area of communicative response. This idea protects and promotes the good of responsive hope, along with the good of care for the other in meeting moments of booming health, normal health struggles, dire situations, and the inevitable. Arnett et al. Rightfully point out that the idea of health refers to how our mental, physical, and spiritual communication practices accommodate specific standards of wellness. A little more background. Arnett et al. Precisely say that responsiveness refers to the way we engage ourselves and others in times of health related need. So, this pretty much says that we rely on an ongoing set of responses that shape our living as we prepare for our end. And also, the responsibility is defined not by demand or acquiescence, but by responsiveness. Here's a video clip from YouTube uploaded by Miss Rachel Stevens titled My Positive Experience of Mental Health of the Mental Health System.
My name's Rachel, I'm from Canberra, and I'm a local artist, author, and speaker. I'm passionate that young people should be listened to because their perspective is a unique and powerful way of understanding and misunderstood and neglected. I believe personal stories are powerful because they offer us into things such as mental health that are quite difficult to navigate and understand. I'm going to share my story of recovering from depression and anorexia and some of the solutions that I found in my life. My story starts when I was 6 years old. It was at that age experiencing much domestic marriage. I experienced over 10 years of sexual abuse. Experiences made me feel less and by the time I was 15, I'd gotten into these destructive experiences. At 15, I was rushed to hospital and then I received my first diagnosis, anorexia nervosa. In hospital, I was placed in psychiatric care. I might lose my life to my eating disorder. After battling and fighting, I made the decision that I wanted to live. However, the years that followed this hospital mission were not devoid of struggle. After family members and friends to suicide, I personally became suicidal. I went on to have another 3 admissions for attempting to take my life. It was then that I was placed in the care of a social worker, and I remember walking into her office at the age of 8, extensive, and never realizing that she was going to be a person who would turn the whole experience around. Margot and I worked together over into her office. I never had another admission for being suicidal or suffering from anxiety or an eating disorder. Not only did I have a future of helping others, she inspired me to make it and to show young people that there is hope, no matter how dark and complex their issues may be. My time spent there is question marks at the end of their charts. What I've discovered, while there's sometimes not clear-cut solutions for mental health, connection and someone to talk to is really powerful in times when you feel like you're completely alone and lost. But to live a life that inspires our people's journey. She inspired me to publish my bulletin diaries, and I think from it, this is what anyone and everything needs. The hand to pull them out of the darkness. The 13, the Australian Bureau of Statistics demonstrated that suicide is the leading cause of death for young Australians 15 to 44. And what I want to say is from my personal experience that there is hope and a single one of these young Australians. And that form of hope comes in the form of connection, relationship, and happiness for your darkest moments. This is what's changed my life. help young people access services and not be put on one in their moment of decision between life and death. Today, I share my mental health issues. I use my book to inspire young people that they have a future no matter what they've been through. The crazy thing is, none of this would have been possible if I hadn't walked into the office of a social worker in the public mental health system when I was 18 years old, and she'd shown me that there was hope, a future, and a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Thank you for listening to my story.
So, what a powerful video that was. So, basically, in connection to health, Rachel, she addressed that her mental disorders stem from her parents' divorce. She witnessed domestic violence, sexual abuse, and those experiences made her feel helpless. She developed destructive behaviors as a teenager, she stated, when she was going through her eating disorder. Now, the question is, how does Rachel's health practice compare to the standards of wellness? Well, when she realized that it wasn't really comparing to the standards of wellness, she decided to take action. So when she took action, she went to see a professional. She spoke to a social worker, and she took action by finding faith. And as she said, she made it a decision that she wanted to live, and she knew that she had a challenging journey ahead. And that relays into responsiveness as she consulted with a social worker to assess her disorders. And she realized that she can have a healthy future. And she was encouraged to use her experiences to inspire others who are going through similar battles. So having these interpersonal relationships, such as a social worker and client relationship, is extremely helpful and immensely powerful during times of struggle, and her experiences inspired her to write her book. And as she said before, she used her experiences to inspire others when she talks to other younger youth in high schools and other communities to keep striving in dire times of need. And she stated this in her book, The Skeleton Diaries. So the next application is from an academic journal titled The Mental Health Status and Participation in an Economic Livelihoods Intervention, a case studies of the SHAWS Project for Adolescent Orphan Girls in Zimbabwe. So basically, to shorten, this article assesses a case study that analyzes the role health plays in economic livelihood intervention. So in connection to health, populations that are at economic disadvantages often have increased cases of mental health disorders, and these populations may not be meeting the standards of wellness if the author is noticing disparities compared to other populations. So, in connection to responsiveness, these programs that address economic status as a method to improve health have the potential of increasing earning potential and to sustain well being, and also to overall improve and alleviate economic disparities. These interventions will be a response to the matter. So that is all, guys. Here's my works cited page, and I hope you all enjoyed.